Yeah, there's a. I don't know if you heard the big news of this week for WoW, but your boy resubbed.
I saw that. I
We're
saw.
back, baby.
Oh my.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
All right, guys.
It
Step
was.
one: you want to light your dumpster on fire, okay? Burn this shit down.
Burn this shit down. It'll make you better.
Any dad from Frostmourne, and you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
All right. Good morning, Twitch. Good morning, YouTube. Thank you for waking up some morning wood this bright. I guess we don't have a bright day finally. It's kind of a little muggy outside. But it's the 20th of June. We've been going over the week coming up here in WoW, June 22nd. Episode 21 of the Morning Wood Show. We got a special guest here. We got returning fan favorite, Mr. Moose. Don't fault him too much for thinking that cake is better than pie. He made this mistake in life that we're working to correct, or is it cheesecake that's the issue?
I mean, once we've accepted that cheesecake is a pie, I guess pie is the greatest form of dessert.
All right, I'll take it. All right, and we got Hakkd, of course, Mr. Burn It Down. Are you okay with that nickname? Like, can we continue to use this?
I don't give a fuck.
Like,
I don't mind the fire jokes. Like, in the moment, it's the random drop fire jokes. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah.
Right. Apparently, I just make up names for people like Only Lonely, and I kind of just go with it without asking for approval. So I figured I should start putting the disclosure out there. All right. And then Thunderfury is out this week. We believe he's getting something worked on.
It was on Friday. He just
So
recovery and shit.
Recovering. He'll be back next week. All right. So we'll roll right on into it. We've got Mythic Plus this week. Only a couple weeks left of this, but we're on the week 5 of the 12-week rotations. The third set we're going through here. This is ideally going to be the last push week because we got 2 weeks left until 9.1. So this week we got Fortified. So, of course, non-boss enemies, 20% more health, inflicting up to 30% more damage. We got Sanguine, so that's going to be those puddles that are left on the ground after you kill people. And then Quaking, where it's going to be that circle around everybody that you got to just make sure you spread out a little bit. Valor cap will be going up to 1625 this week. Make sure if you guys are hitting this cap or have that Valor, it will be resetting in 2 weeks. So dump that on whatever you need to dump it on because it will be going away.
You'll be getting like 2 silver for it.
Right.
So
Blizzard's very generous
make sure to
with
use it if you can use it.
the money grab
Yeah,
on
this
that.
is definitely the week. If you want KSM and you don't have it, go for it. Get it. Get it done this week. Easy peasy.
I don't have it. Do you two have this? No.
I think I have 1 or 2 15s timed. If that. I don't even know if I have any. I don't remember. It's been so long since I like actually played retail.
Any interest trying to get that knocked out this week?
No, I don't care.
No. Moose, thoughts? Any interest at all in this?
I mean, what's this week looking like? Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. That could be fun if you want to try to get a group together.
There's 5.
If there's a group together, I would do it. But
Need 5 of them, so maybe we'll see. Like maybe I'll throw in the Discord and see what people are thinking.
I think I only need like 8.
Fair. So nice even number. So
Yeah, there's a. I don't know if you heard the big news of this week for WoW, but your boy resubbed.
I saw that. I saw.
We're back, baby.
Yeah, I popped on last night and saw it in the old chat log.
Yeah, man. That's the biggest news of WoW this week, you know? I mean,
Oh,
something
yeah,
else
totally.
happened, I think, but not too important.
there's really not much going on besides that, I guess, right? So it's kind of odd timing that you just decided to show up and come back.
Yeah, out of random.
All right. So we got world bosses here, the fair part. So we got Mortanis out there in Maldraxxus, southwest corner. This is going to be for the Fury Warrior, the Punch Monk, and also the Outlaw Rogue. It's not going to really be top for anybody besides Punch Monk. I think some people are using it now, or are they not using this thing?
I don't know that anybody's using it for actual.
Oh, okay, no, that was the Ret Paladin that they're using now. That one we talked about. Okay, so these are basically kind of a wash for nobody. Nobody wants these. Fury Warrior, Punch Monk, Outlaw. Go grab this. Go grab some of that 207 gear that's going to be outdated here in 2 weeks. So we will watch to see what that level... Do these go up, you think? Or the level is going to be 207 for gear at 9.1? Is the gear going to stay the same, or you think they're going to alter it?
I don't remember if world bosses ever get upgraded.
I don't think I've ever seen them get upgraded.
Usually, like, if a new world boss comes out, that new world boss has higher.
Right. It's usually the way it'll work. There will be like 4 shit world bosses that are never worth doing, and then one new one every patch that you want to go to.
Yeah, so this becomes kind of a dead gear pathing then.
Yeah.
Unless you need the
only
Lego.
Yeah, you would only want to go do it on an alt for the Lego, or if you need the 200 item level Covenant conduit. Because I'm not sure if that's guaranteed, but I know it's got at least a really high chance to drop off the boss.
All right, good deal. So, again, not ideal legendaries for any of those classes, but if you are a Fury Warrior, a Punch Monk, or Outlaw Rogue, go out there, grab those memories if you want to grab those. And maybe with 9.1 changes, one of these may end up pushing forward. We'll see what Blizzard does. So, raid count. The count is up to 1,930. So it went up another 103 last week for everybody with your cutting edge. With Horde going up to 1,473, so they went up 86 more. Alliance coming in second, a little bit behind with 457. 17 more Lions guilds knocked it out, so good job there, Lions. So, a thought on this, guys. So, 103 more guilds knocked this out. So this has been, we're like 30 weeks into this expansion. So they've been on this grind for a long time now. I want to look at both sides of it. One, imagine being somebody that has been grinding it out and just crosses the finish line of it. And imagine if you've been grinding it out and you fall short. Like, they got 2 weeks left. Like, the 28th is the cutoff for this. Like, how would you feel if you put in all this work and then found out, no, I missed it?
I mean, we've all been waiting. You knew it was coming.
Right.
And if you haven't gotten it by now, this is after like 4 or 5 sets of nerfs. They've been nerfing them pretty hard.
Right.
Yeah.
But still, like, the fact that there's still this many people knocking it out for the first time, like, that just seems nuts to be, like, pushing this hard still.
I mean, one of our guildies was talking about a guild. He overheard somebody talking about that they had just hit AOTC last week. So,
Man.
They've been grinding heroic.
Right.
Like,
Well, and I think whoever said that, it kind of like went back to our conversation from the episode with Baylock, where we were talking about like the average player, and I think it was kind of a clap back to that too. Like, yep, the average player is a little lower than what we thought.
Right. Well, good luck to those people pushing if they're on the bubble. I hope they get it. Just because, man, to put in that time, like, it should be deserved at this point. All right. So, WoW events this week. We got the Battleground bonus event. So, that's usually like win 4 Battlegrounds to get some extra perks and buffs, and 50% more honor, I believe, is normally.
Yeah,
so,
the honor game from it is awesome.
honor is not going to reset with the rollover, right?
but maybe not with like the 15K cap. Maybe it doesn't, but I would assume it does.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like maybe Conquest will reset, but like Honor, I feel like that may just sit there since it's got a cap, right?
But you upgrade Conquest gear with Honor.
Right.
You don't upgrade it with Conquest.
But they don't have to worry about people grabbing like all XYZ pieces of Conquest and upgrading them. So there's still going to be, you won't be able to use it.
I mean, even if it does reset, it's really not that big of a deal, I think, because if you're really like a PvP player, you're gonna hit the honor cap again, easy peasy.
And then, are they gonna change honor gear, or are they gonna just increase its threshold? Like right now, it's like 1 through 9 upgrades, right? Are they just gonna increase it to like up to 15? So like you still got to go all the way up?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure about that.
I
don't even know if like we've seen that.
Because that's what they did Renown, right?
I would assume it would be a reset. I would assume it would be a reset at like you buy it at base 200 now, since it's technically like season 2 gear. I think they always have. Like I don't think they'll just add more upgrades to season 1 gear when season 2 is out, because they always do
like a whole
seasonal
set, right?
gear. Yeah.
Well, and they usually do like a different appearance too, right? So I guess they'll probably swap it out.
Exactly.
All
Usually
right.
very bland skin of like raid gear.
Right, like the gear that nobody really wants is kind of embarrassing to run around in.
Yeah.
All right, and we got a PvP brawl coming up. We got Cooking Impossible. What are your guys' thoughts on this as a PvP brawl? Like, Moose, do you do this thing? Like, have you done this?
I've never done this one yet.
I don't think I've ever done this one.
So this one's out, and it's set in like Pandaland with like a farm, farm appearance where it's got 2 pots of stew, and basically both groups are trying to run out into the farm, grab like carrots or whatever, and then return it to their pot. But when you play this as Alliance, your pot is guarded by Horde. Horde kill you, steal your carrot, and put it in their pot. So like it's kind of like we run out, do the work, we bring it back to get killed by Horde, and the pots are only like 20 yards apart from each other, so they're pretty close, maybe 40. So
you literally just camp the pots.
yeah, we basically farm for them, and then we bring it back. So the only one I enjoyed doing this on was with my rogue, because I could sit out in the field, and there'd only be like 1 or 2 Horde that would go out there by themselves, because everybody else would be camping the pots. So as a stealth class, it's not too bad to play, but all around not the best PvP brawl that's out there. All right, and then we got the Midsummer Fire Festival. It's one of the cornerstone ones for the longest journey meta. Is that there's been a long strange journey?
Yeah.
There we go. So this one's kind of a cool one because it's got the extra bosses, right? Like Slave Pen. It's got Lord Ahuni.
Ahun.
And then a couple like just fire transmogs, so a couple cool little things to get from this one. I think there's a fancy Hearthstone too that you can get, and the Death Frost enchant that's only available during this holiday. So a few little cool things to snag up there. With PvP, so we also have the end of the season coming up across the board. So it's the last push for people to get their gladiator titles or different
1800.
ranks. 1800 for those of us. I guess you had 1800 hacked, right? Are you close to 2K, or would you end up falling on?
Oh no, I'm 1800 and I quit.
Fair.
Sorry, my dog's fucking loud.
All right, Moose, where'd you end up for the season? Were you like 16, 14?
I'm in the same bracket as Hakkd. So, I didn't put any effort into it, but we both fell at the same level. And he was trying hard. So
you both hit 1800?
Yeah, sure. No, I was
Yeah,
like 16.
I was about to say, when did you do that?
Nah, like 16 something.
All right, good deal. Did you get the spider mount?
Nah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, because where you did.
Nah, it didn't take me that many games to get to 1600.
It's true.
Well, and it's easier to grind it out too. That's another thing you can put in the bucket list because it's basically every win over 1,000. Since you're over it, you
Well,
can't go
now
below 1,000, right?
They just did that recently, though. It was
Right.
over 1,400.
And you can't go below 1,000, right? So basically, just any win now, if you're above that, it's going to count towards it.
Yeah, you play like 5 games that don't count, and then you're good.
Good to know. Yeah, maybe I'll grind that out.
It's easy peasy. Yeah, if you want it, I'm down to fuck around and.
So KSM and Spider Mount. Easy.
All right, there we go on the bucket list. So if you're looking to get KSM, you're looking to get the spider mount, you got 2 weeks left, so get on the grind if you need to get that off your bucket list. All right, so
I mean, I don't know about other people, but I enjoy just PvP randomly. So, especially unless I'm pushing, I still like to just queue arenas and fuck around. So, like I've probably filled the mount bar like 5 times this season, just from playing. Like, gotten all the saddles and shit.
right, and I think that's a thing that sometimes is kind of forgot on this. Like a lot of times it's checking boxes like, okay, what do I need to do in WoW this week? So you're more focused on I've got to do X, Y, Z rather than I'm doing this because I actually enjoy it. Rather, I've got to just check this box.
Yeah.
So
Because I was never like getting the mount was never my focus. It was just like I had other goals in PvP, or I was just enjoying PvP, you know, at the time. But either way, it went pretty quick that way. I don't know, I'm just playing, filling the bar. Oh shit, I got him out. Sweet.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how like the philosophy on different parts of the game can change depending on what you like to do.
Yeah.
Whereas like
sure.
somebody who's a mount collector but doesn't like PvP is gonna feel like that's a complete chore to try to get that spider mount.
Yeah.
right. All right, so TBC, we're on week 3 coming up, right? Like no. Are we on week 3 now? Like, why did I just drop blank on this?
I think week 3. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is week 3. Week 4 drops next reset, right? Yeah, we're just gonna call it week 4. We're gonna go with that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, totally sure.
So max level now, Hakkd, or where are you sitting on TBC?
I'm only 68.
Okay, so almost there. So right around the corner.
Yeah. I have definitely been playing like not efficiently though, because I know a lot of it's like, oh, you want to do all the quests that are like all lumped together and then go to the next area and do all that shit. No, dude, I straight up finished all of Hellfire, went into Zangar, finished all of Zangar, and then like, I didn't really move on until I was completed with Zone.
Right, and the meta for like all the sweaty guys in guild. I mean, they ran dungeons until they got right before revered. No, right before honored, because the dungeons don't give you rep after honored. And then they went into quest zone to get the rep, so it would push them into revered so they can do heroics. Which
I didn't care for all I just didn't really do any of that.
Because that slave pen grind, like doing 30 slave pen runs or whatever it took to get that rep, was just nuts. The fact they could just go in there over and over. And then I guess Moose, you didn't get into TBC, like that was during your time off, right?
Yeah, nah. I mean, I just don't have any interest in TBCC.
I mean, I was definitely having fun with like the journey and everything. I'm kind of losing a little bit of interest, mostly because 9.1 was announced. I'm like, okay, let me hop on retail and like check some shit out. And we have a new addition to the community in the WoW guild. His name is Skittles, and he's playing Fire Mage, right? So, hop in and I've kind of been keeping an eye out so I could hop on while he's on because he had asked for some help. So that was just kind of fun, actually talking about the game and talk that I know about.
Oh man,
so I think retail's kind of pulling me back in a little bit.
So do we have a competitor for the top mage in the guild now? Is this a potential thing? Like, we haven't had another mage before. Just been you two.
Airy.
Yeah, Airy was good.
That was before Moose was a mage, though. So he just lived vicariously through Airy. Where he, instead of saying, I'm a better fire mage than you, he'd say, Airy is a better fire mage than you. So it was like...
yeah, and both were true.
She was his conduit to talk shit on me. True.
Are they coming back? Because there was two of them, right? It was a couple, right? They went
yeah,
hard.
Zenji and Airy.
Have we heard from them since like 3 weeks into it, or whenever?
They just popped in like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I don't think they popped in a raid or anything, but they were in Discord with us while we were raiding.
Oh, nice.
Zenji and Airy. It was cool to hear from them for sure.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
I think they plan on coming back.
The longest expansion ever, and they were gone for most of it.
Yeah, they only made it like a month in, if that.
Yeah, I know Zenji in real life, so I think Airy's been been super busy with schoolwork and whatnot.
Real life is real life.
Yeah.
What you gotta do.
All right, good deal. So, I've
I'd
cleared.
love to hear Hakkd's advice to Skittles about playing a fire mage, though. All right, guys. Step one: you want to light your dumpster on fire, okay? Burn this shit down.
Burn this shit down. It'll make you better.
So that's like making full use of your combust and not just leaving it kind of pedaling out.
Yeah.
Like, make sure you get your full uptime on it.
Yeah, but I mean, it was also super basic shit. Like, he's newer, so it was just going over like crit chains and how you basically never stop casting fireballs. Like, don't cancel casts to throw the instance. Like, throw it at the end of another cast so you can fish for crit chains and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
all that shit. Shit that Moose doesn't know how to do.
Wow. I mean, Hakkd, remind me again. You played Paladin at the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you switched to a Fire Mage, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then you only made it like 1 week trying to compete against me, and you went back to a Paladin, right?
Had nothing to do with competitive.
No, is that the right? Chronologically, is that what we're
No,
doing?
it wasn't that I couldn't compete with you. It was that I couldn't compete with anybody because I was dog shit. No, like,
you heard it here first, folks.
So all of the early bosses, I did once, and then we were just. It wasn't during. Was it during progression? It wasn't progression.
No.
But whatever. I hadn't like done the early bosses, so I was just doing Stone Legion and Sire. I'm like, dude, I just feels bad, dude. And then I finally got the chance to go through the early bosses, got a better look at what I was doing. Like, okay, it's not too bad. I just suck at Stone Legion, and I do way better at Ret and Sire. Yeah.
All right, fair. All right, so what is it? TBC. It's my second week being in Kara, and there's so much trash in there. Like, that's the hardest part of Kara, is just going through all the trash. I think there's 10 bosses, and we've done 7 bosses each week just because we run out of time. Like, the first week we ran out of time, we got like 2 attempts on Shade because we went through to Prince right away. And then this next week we went through, killed Prince, and went back through like Nether Spite. And both of those bosses take a little bit of work. I guess with Shade, it's broken right now. Fire Blast is doing like 300% more damage than it's supposed to, so it's like one-shotting people.
Oof.
So, and then we try to do Nether Spite, Nether Shade, big dragon guy.
Yeah, the big dragon.
It's the first boss in there that takes like people working together because you got to block the streams. So it's gonna take us some coordination to figure that out, especially after 3 hours of doing trash.
Is Shade the one like that's the one with like just the mage, right? And he's like casting the blizzards and the
yep, the flame
fire
wreath
thing that the flame wreath, you have to stand still.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a healer intense fight, especially going there with like not very good gear. So those should be coming down here soon. We did get into Gruul's lair. We killed the first guy, High King, what's his face?
Malgar, yeah.
Yeah, it took like 2 attempts, and then we kept just getting eaten up in Gruul's because we don't have the damage. Like, we'd get 11, 12 stacks, and then the tank would be getting 1 shot. So we don't have the gear at this point to kill him, but fight's not too bad either, so that should be coming in the next weeks.
I was watching like Asmongold stream, and they're just sitting there wiping on it for fucking 6 hours. They were sitting there wiping to Gruul. It's like, fuck that, dude.
Nuts. All right. In big news for this week, 9.1 finally got a release date. 2 weeks out. 9.1 is going to be dropping here on the 29th of June. It's going to lead into the normal heroic raid dropping on July 6th. Mythic raid's going to come out along with week 1 or wing 1 of Raid Finder July 13th. Looking for raid is going to slowly roll out the different wings, with it not being until August 24th that we'll have that last boss Sylvanas in looking for raid. The biggest thing about July 13th, it's going to be that 2 weeks in, that's when you should have flying unlocked. So no longer anchored to the ground. You're going to unlock account wide. So we'll all be able to travel around, eliminate that ground PvP. So we no longer have to interact with the other faction. I guess to start with you, Hakkd, what are you most excited for 9.1 now that we finally have a release date?
Honestly, man, I'm not even excited for anything. I'm just hoping that it's good. Like that's where I'm that's where I'm at, dude. Like with all of BFA, like every patch, there's really nothing to be excited about. There's no interesting systems being built upon, and can only just hope that it's good.
All right, so he's going into it kind of meh. Like we'll see. Like Blizzard.
I'm excited for raid progression. Like that's the one thing that's gonna keep me in it.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the new raid content. I mean, the new Mythic affixes are going to be really interesting too. They've made some changes to them recently too, and like they nerfed storming, they've nerfed a couple other big ones, and so Mythic Plus will be an interesting run now. And yeah, just the raid content is really the biggest thing for me.
So
I've never been super into Mythic Plus myself, so I really liked 8.3 Awakened, with the pillars and shit.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And you
This
like kind of
seasonal
make skips
effect
and stuff.
Yeah, like this seasonal affix was kind of eh, and next season affix, it might be cool. I don't know. It kind of seems meh. Reading about it, I haven't really like watched anything over it or tested it on PTR or anything like that, but just reading it, I'm like, might be cool. Who knows? I don't have like super high hopes, sadly.
So I saw they had an update to the lieutenants that they posted just recently.
Mm-hmm.
Like each one of them got an extra like mechanic, right? Or an extra something. Like they all had 2, now they've all have 3.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything about that.
And the big thing was the fire guy. Like, so the fire guy has like a damage like aura, and now he's got like this nuke like that does like so much damage, and as it scales up, like I don't think people are gonna have the hit points to be able to withstand it at a certain level. Like for the crazy people that are pushing like really high end.
Yeah, but I mean, how much HP does he have? Like,
I just put it in a Discord chat there. Links.
People do a lot of damn, you know. Gonna get to a point where people are one-shotting things.
Yeah, I'm excited to run the new Mega Dungeon, at least the first time.
I am excited for that. Yes, I do have high hopes on that. It looks pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, and did you see that every boss has a hard mode?
I did. I haven't looked into it, but I saw Cheat post it.
Okay.
Discord.
Yeah.
So, with that, did every boss in Mechagon have hard modes, or was it just so many of them?
I actually don't. I don't know.
Because I believe the first 4 all had hard modes, and it was just fighting it with the spaceship above it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, no, I thought the guy in the botanist guy had a hard mode. Maybe I'm wrong.
The botanist guy, the slime guy.
No, he spawned. He had like the circular room and like
with the saws on the side, or the guns on the side, like the saws are flailing around the room.
It was right after the sneaky part.
Like when you went down.
Yeah, right before you went through the door.
Back in the last boss, I think. Because you killed him, and then you would go take the little ship, and then you go up to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The little gnome guy you fought with the flame plants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought he had a hard mode, but maybe he didn't.
Why am I drawing a blank on these? Because the last hard mode was like you had to be in comms. Like that was too complicated to really do in game with the.
Because the
Simon
last
Says
boss
thing.
had a hard mode for sure.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And I guess I don't even know the tank boss, like the tank boss and the hammer guy, like the first one when you went down. Like I don't know what the hard mode was for that one. So yeah, I don't think all of them had hard modes. All right, well, so 9.1 mains. Are we switching characters? We keeping with what we're at? Like, what's your plans? What tune are you playing rolling into it, or Hakkd?
Well, I think I want to shift to ranged. And I'm thinking either Frost Mage or I'm playing with the idea of doing Ellie Sham. But I'm still leveling it, so we'll see. I might just give up on leveling it.
So, possibility of seeing Hakkd playing another class that has some fire abilities. So, we'll see where that goes. Moose, what are you thinking?
Well, because Hakkd wants to be like me in every aspect of his life. I'm in between a Frost Mage and an Ellie Sham.
Oh, ew.
I'm working on getting I just switched my Shaman to Necrolord because he's already level 60, and working on getting that campaign done.
I like how because he's already. I don't have to level it.
Yeah, some of us know how to play the game. But no worries. So yeah, I'm trying to get the campaign caught up on the Shaman. I mean, the Mage is already caught up, so no big deal there. But the Shaman is like, I don't know if I'm going to play it or not, but I want to be ready for it.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking Shaman because I liked having the pally as like, oh, I can heal if I need to, because I have needed to pop over for heals here and there, for raiding if we're missing somebody or whatever. And I do really enjoy Resto Shaman, so if that spot does open up, and I'd be totally cool with taking that main spot if it's needed, or if we're just for some reason, because I know a lot of our melee are switching to ranged. So if we end up being short on melee, which is usually never the case, and it doesn't matter even if you are, but I can play enhanced. I love enhanced as well. Probably not good.
It looks cool though.
Yeah, I love it. It's very like spammy. It looks cool. It's dope.
Yeah.
But also my Shaman's transmog is dope, which is most of the reason I'm like, ooh, that's right. I have like a really cool male transmog set up.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, I'll probably end up playing whatever the guild needs. So if we need a mage because we don't have intellect, or if we need a demon hunter because we don't have that magic debuff, or we need a shaman for heroism or whatever, I'll just fill whatever spot. But
all right, so possibly elemental, possibly mage, possibly demon hunter.
I'm gonna pick whatever Hakkd picks so I can top him on the charts every time.
So I tossed around the idea of going shaman for this because that's what I'm playing in TBC right now. So like I was doing enhancement, but now I'm gonna be switching to resto because we need healers. So on TBC, and I figured, okay, why not just do shaman on both? But I tried setting up the bars, and shaman's got too many buttons with the totems. Like I wasn't feeling it. Like, and it's weird how totems are now compared to like TBC. Like in TBC, I've got like 2 bars on the right side that have like all these different totems I can grab like as needed because you can do 4 at a time. I was looking at my Handsman Shaman in retail, and there's only real one totem that I just drop during like fights, and it's Windfury totem. Like I don't have any other totems that are just like up during the fight.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's not really many totems you drop in retail like throughout. Like if they're not rotational, they're not that big of a deal. Like it's mostly all utility. Is what I mean.
Right, they're all on demand. Like even for healers, like they have a couple charges of like healing stream totem, like mana cooldown totems, but like you don't drop the 4 totems that run around. So
hi babies.
Yeah, I mean, other than like Windfury totem for enhance, I can't think of any others that are like you have to drop at the fight and keep it out. Otherwise, cheat will yell at you.
Right. So shaman, I'm pretty sure, is off the table. Right now, my top pick for 9.1 is Arms Warrior.
Ooh. But isn't it the year of the bear?
So, Classic kind of broke that for me. Like Classic bear kind of took a shot to my heart, where it just was gutted, and I put all that time into leveling in Classic to be like, what is this? This isn't the bear I play. Like, and then with the transition from the other guild where I was the raid tank to like come over here like Might full time, like we got like 30 tanks. Like everybody plays a tank. Yeah. So
that's when you need them.
Well, the fact that we had to go through this raid tier with like the GM, who's a main tank, not being able to tank, I was like, there's no way I'm getting a tank spot. Like, so didn't like Boomkin, and that kind of put it salty on the druid for me. So yeah, the druid may be on the bench for a little bit. So, and the reason for arms is the Venthyr Covenant not having to get an extra button. Like it turns your execute into like super execute. So I want to have something that's got like 3 buttons. Like I want it to be super simple. Like if I'm splitting between 2 like games right now with TBC and retail, I want to have it simple. So, and then it's got a tank option too if I need to get a quick Q. So
that's true. And I mean, Condemn Prot isn't the best, but it's still pretty good for like single target damage.
Right. And I won't be pushing like huge keys. It'll be like for quick stuff. So
stuff where you can just spam damage.
Yeah. So I think that's going to be the play. And leveling, I was telling Moose this morning, like leveling is nuts in retail compared to like how many levels I've just spent on TBC. Like those objectives that in retail were like, oh, I don't want to do this. I got to kill like 50 mobs or something in this area. Like I grinded through all of them in like Revendreth the other day, and one of those is like half of what it takes for like a classic quest. Like it's just nuts. Like you have to kill 1,000 of these like pigs to get one skin. So it made me appreciate retail leveling.
Yeah, I hopped on the shaman, and I've been leveling again. TBC, same thing. Like you turn in a quest and you don't even see the bar move.
Right.
And you're just like, oof, I figured that quest would be more experience than that. It's not. And then I hop on retail. I'm just like, yeah, do these little quests kind of in an order, going. I'm like, cool. I've gotten like 2 levels in the past 30 minutes. Not even fucking, like my brain has been turned off. Holy shit.
Right. So makes you appreciate that a little bit better.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that is kind of one thing that like pulled me back into retail a little bit, is just trying to level the shaman. I'm like, this is fucking easy. Like this is so fucking easy. This is nice. This like is fun because I feel rewarded in a different way of just like the ease of it.
How many did you beat?
For me, like I understand why people love BC Classic and Vanilla Classic and everything, but I just don't have the time or the energy to put in 8 hours a day to level.
Right. And you need to.
Retail is actually better for me in that regard because I can sit down for 30 minutes to an hour and actually accomplish something.
Right.
Right. It's not that huge grind for everything you want to do, or even like the travel time for dungeons.
Yeah.
All right, good deal. So anything else you guys are hyped for 9.1? I covered the raid. We covered the mini dungeon coming out.
I mean, I guess the new zone will be kind of cool for a little while.
Yeah.
Or or whatever.
I'm curious to see how much different it is from just the maw. Because it's still the maw, but it's a different part of the maw, so...
Yeah.
Curious.
Oh. The new gear that's coming out, the raid dominance gear, domination gear.
Oh yeah, that's probably important. Like the set bonuses and whatnot.
Yeah. So the one variable on this, so it's going to be main gear, like shoulder, helmet, chest, like what have you. It's only going to be in those slots. So a lot of people with their Legos though got it in those slots also. So the domination gear is going to have to fill that slot. So people are going to have to redo some of their Legos to try and get both now. So what are your thoughts on this flip?
They really need just a better legendary build system, or at least like a trade-in system. Something. Because if I crafted a legendary in the beginning that I'm never going to use again because they gutted it or something, like, you should let me trade it in for half of the soul ash I use. Or
another system they could do would be like putting, say you have like your helmet for your legendary, then you pay whatever amount of soul ash, say like 2,000 soul ash, and then you can transfer it over to another equal level something.
Rather than having to recraft it, say it's a rank 3 and it would take you, I forget the numbers, but like 3250 total soul ash to create a new rank 3 on a different slot, make it cost fucking 1,500 to just move it to a different slot, whatever. Make it half of the soul, something so that it doesn't feel so fucking bad. Like if I want it on a different slot, or if I'm just never gonna use this Lego again, let me destroy it for half of the soul ash.
That's one of the
I would totally do that.
Shaman too is that I don't have any legendaries crafted on it yet, but I have like 3,200 soul ash waiting, so
right,
it'll be ready to go.
Yeah,
there you go.
Especially from our our blind runs, we missed out on that.
Oh yeah.
I think they just did that one again like a week or two ago.
Oh wow. That was so dumb.
I think the Beast one will come out next week. Not this week, but the week after. We're back to another rotation of that.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I ever played that one. I might have missed out on that one.
I tried once and it was like I couldn't even complete the run because it gimps your character in Torghast.
Yeah.
And then you have this pet that doesn't really do what you want it to do where you want it to do it. So
yeah, it's underwhelming to say the least for that one. So
yeah.
Definitely isn't the meme value that the darkness one has.
Yeah, that was. I had a great time with that one.
Yeah, that was funny as shit. I forgot about that all.
All right, so good things to come here, hopefully, with 9.1. Hopefully it kind of brings people back, revitalizes it a little bit. So we'll see how these new weapon with affixes work for the raid. A lot of stuff around the raid, so we'll see how that works. Like, that's kind of where we spend most of our time, is raiding, right?
Yeah, I don't like that. Like, just make the raid gear better, make interesting items that like stick out. Don't add another fucking weird, convoluted, stupid fucking system. Like, I really don't get it, because it's like, our community seems to have an issue with our systems. Like, everybody complains about the systems. Let's put in another system. Like, no, dude, just go to the fucking... Keep it simple. Give us cool gear that is cool. Like, I don't know.
So you're saying don't fix borrowed power with more borrowed power? Like,
Yeah, I mean, just this domination gear and these domination slots. Like, no, dude, that's convoluted. It's dumb. It's bullshit, and it's probably, spoiler, not going to be fun or interesting in any way, shape, or form. It's just going to be a fucking thing that's kind of confusing, and that's it. It's going to do nothing but confuse people. Some people are going to know what it is. Like, I'm sure we'll figure it out, and I don't know. It's either going to be convoluted and confusing, or it's going to be simple and boring. So just don't put it in. It's not worth it. There's no point. Just give us cool gear. Give us cool bosses to kill to get the gear. Boom.
So, like, now that I'm trying to split between two worlds here, there's like the seeing the two sides of the gearing system again is kind of crazy on like where we were and where we're at now. Like, the Kara run I did had shamans, rogues, and paladins, and they all share the same token. So out of our 10 people, 7 people wanted the same token. Like, there was one mage, so his token was free roll on him, and then 2 others had the other token. It's crazy how many people would be fighting for the same gear, where it hinders you to have people you share gear with back in classic TBC.
Yeah, but that also, the gear you want drops, you see it, and then it goes to somebody else, and that's just like, you have a reason to raid and farm for that long, because the gear is interesting, and it's like, the items mean something. In raid right now, I could get a 213 drop, and I'm like, cool, what's the fucking name of this shitty belt? Like, I got a fucking 226 from week 2 of my Mythic Plus vault. Like, what is this belt? It's fucking nothing, dude. You know, I don't know the name of it. Couldn't tell you the name of like any item that I'm wearing on my retail paladin, but I could tell you tons of names of shit that my BC wrote, my not capped BC rogue, I could tell you the name of the shit that I'm wearing. Like,
well, and that could be the time you spend on it too. Like the time sync with it too, and so then with that side of things is you're fighting with somebody for the gear and they get it, and now you know you're getting it like next potentially, or after the other 6 people get it.
Yeah.
But on retail, it's kind of similar too. Like, let's say we're talking about the Sylvanas bow, and there's 3 hunters in there. If one of them gets it, you know that you're getting it too, because they have a chance to roll in that loot that they potentially traded over to you, right?
Exactly, but that's what I mean. Like, that's gonna feel important because everybody's gonna know, like, Sylvanas's bow. That's a big item. It's gonna mean something. But there's tons of items in all those old raids that like mean something. You know the names. They're dope. You want them. And I think probably a big thing in Castle Nathria is no weapon drops. Not having weapon drops in raids is horrible.
There's weapons.
Like,
it's the tokens for weapons.
That's not a weapon drop. That's a fucking... That's 2 chances at a weapon throughout the raid.
Right.
And
well,
it's
like
a
Gear,
token.
right? Tier gear was tokens.
Yeah, but it's totally different. Way different. Tokens was still like, here's your chest piece, here's your... And the only reason tokens were a thing is because specs didn't change your set at the I think at one point you had to buy like that specs to your piece.
Yeah, that's the way it's in TBC. It doesn't flip around. It's...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did they change that in Wrath, or when did they?
No, I mean Wrath. You still had to pay for talent swaps.
Yeah.
So it was whenever they made. It was after. Was it Mop maybe?
Oh, I know during Mop, like you still had tier set tokens, but you only had to buy the one set, and they would switch between your talent specs.
Yeah, I think it was Mop. I don't think it was Kata. I think
Well, Kata is when they did dual spec.
Right. Yeah. Which was
that was Wrath, wasn't it? We got duels.
End of Wrath. Yeah.
Wrath was dual spec. Kata was still dual spec. You mean when you could just switch freely?
Yeah, I think that came with the talent rework when we got the new talent trees. That's when they came with like this talent spec thing. And...
Right.
So Wrath had 2. You could have 2 different ones. Like Paladin, you couldn't have 3, but Wrath, you could have 2. When was it they rolled out what we have now that you can just flip freely between everything?
Yeah, I don't remember.
It's Kata, I think, or
Kata.
No, not Kata. Was Kata the rework?
Well, Kata's talent rework was pretty much still just Wraths, except at level 10 you picked your spec, and then you had to put like at least 40 points into that spec before you could go into the other trees. That was the Kata rework. So you could still multi-spec, but you had to like put a set amount of points into your main spec first. But it was still like the whole tree. And then Mop would have been when we got like the 15 row, the 30 row, the 45 row. Straight up didn't have like a tree for it anymore.
Yeah.
But at least they gave us like a conduit tree, right? That makes up for us not having a talent tree anymore.
No, not at all. Well, and that's part of what I mean is like, yeah, you get a conduit to drop in this shit, and you're like, who fucking cares? Like, nobody is excited about a conduit drop. Like, even if it's my best in slot conduit, I'm like, cool, awesome. Like,
I think also when you have look at like what you're talking about with like nobody cares about what the gear name is, or nobody can really identify gear in retail. I think that comes down to like the overabundance of epic gear.
Yeah, but that's what I mean is like the rating gear which I guess is part of what they're trying to fix too, but it's not. They're doing it in form of a system, not in the form of an interesting piece of gear. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Like trinkets have always been dope. Like weapons have always been dope. That's why Legion, that was a big bummer for me, is like not having weapon drops in Legion.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, Legion overall was great. But weapon drops not being a thing did bum me out.
So yeah, I like seeing people grind something for an item. Like, I remember back in BFA when each tier came out, like our warriors would get into King's Rest and they would grind out to get that weapon, like the one that had the bleed effect.
Mm-hmm. Well, so it's just like all these, like, there's not really any interesting trinkets in Nathria either. Like, I don't know, just some of the, basically the loot tables.
There's a couple
were kind of meh.
mage trinkets in Nathria.
Yeah, but I don't even think they're that cool, or like they're just the best. You should use them. Like, I don't know. There's.
I mean, the one off of Sun King is pretty nutty for Mythic Plus, and then the one off of Denathrius, the Soul Igniter, is pretty much Biss, I think.
I know that, but I mean, like, they're not. I don't know. It feels different than like the Bloodthirsty Instinct from Ursoc and Ian. Like, that trinket was fucking dope, and everybody knew the name. And I mean, I guess everybody knows, like, oh, Soul Igniter's good. I don't know. Everything just.
The tank one. The tank one's kind of got a weird effect, right? Off Sun.
I mean, yeah. Well, they've all got like weird effects, but they're not. I don't know. You got like the Stone Legion trinket, like flat burst increase, cooleds, whatever. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying the trinkets aren't interesting this time around. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just the skin of the, like, the feel of the raid doesn't like make any of the gear feel interesting. I don't know.
I mean, I definitely miss having set bonuses. I loved that back in.
Yeah.
Being able.
We should be getting that back, but not until 9.2.
And that kind of was a big driver for raiding after completing the raid for me. Was like, oh, I've got my 4 set right now, but I'd love to get my 6 set, or I've got my 2 set right now. I really need to be here so I can get my 4 set.
Yeah. Or get my best in slot trinket or my best slot weapon from.
Yeah. I'd love to see raid weapons have like unique effects on them again, which kind of, I guess the Sylvanas bow has that, which just makes it very interesting.
Yeah.
So every class is getting something like that, right?
What's that?
Every class is getting a weapon with some kind of affix to it now. It's the new thing with this raid tier.
I think so, yeah. That sounds right.
You don't look thrilled by that Hakkd because it's another borrowed power they're putting in instead of fixing.
Everybody's getting it. I mean, it's just going to be a thing. Like,
I mean, tier gear has been borrowed power as well.
Yeah, I don't care about borrowed power. That's not the issue. It's the
lackluster system.
It depends. Like, is every... I am going to assume that every role gets a weapon. So you're going to have, like, enhancement shamans and rogues, and anything that uses agility one-handers is going to have, like, their weapon. It's going to have, like, this basic proc effect that's going to do free damage. Like, I don't know. That's how I assume shit's going to go. It's not going to be, like, anything that's spec defining. It's going to be random proc damage on some kind of cool weapon. And then you're never going to remember it after it's gone, you know? Like, borrowed power, if you do it right, is you remember, like, you miss it when it's gone, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember the name because I'm terrible with names, but the Warglaves off of the homeboy in 8.3.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, those are
Rodin.
cool as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rodin. Yeah, those were
Yeah.
cool, and they were great
They were
for
good,
rogues.
yeah.
They were great for demon hunters, etc.
People fucking wanted them, and people did they did Rodin every week. There was always that excitement behind going to kill that boss, you know.
Right, because it was that and the trinkets, right?
Yeah, maybe it's just me in this raid. Like, nothing interests me about any of the gear because it's just kind of whatever. But I don't know, and I also like that there's less of a barrier between raiders and like everything else. Like, you could go do Mythic Plus if that's what you enjoy, and get similar or the same reward from it, but there's just nothing like raid gear, you know.
I was just looking it up. Apparently, there's
Boss by boss.
You play Destiny, right, Hacked?
No.
Oh, there's a Destiny Easter egg in one of the weapons. That's pretty cool.
A little bit of crossover, just acknowledgement there.
Yeah.
Oh, worst thing about TBC. Worst thing, hands down. Worse than leveling. You ready for this bullshit? Do you know what the queue time is for Horde Battlegrounds?
Don't.
Any guess?
Mm-mm.
Any guess?
30 minutes.
50 fucking minutes. 54 minutes is like what I've been averaging. Like, so
man.
you queue, I go farm for an hour, I get into a battleground, and then Alliance is in a pre-made and just rolls you. Because nobody will sit in a Horde pre-made for an hour. So it's Alliance doing back-to-back pre-mades, just slaughtering Horde. Like, it's horrible. Like, how is that a thing? Like, 54 minutes, like... Yeah, I don't even know.
Hashtag no changes.
Oh, yeah. Like, if they can put Boosty Boys in there, they can find some way to break up that battleground. Like, make it so it's not... Send me in there against Horde. Like, let me fight Horde against Horde. I don't care.
Right.
Like, lower that number.
Hashtag no changes.
All right. Well, on that note, we'll see what has to come here with 9.1. Hopefully it'll revitalize it. It's going to bring a lot of our friends back to the game because every time a patch comes, people come back to see what's new. So
Real quick, though, let me So, Edge of Night is a dagger that rogues are going to be able to get. Your attacks apply Banshee's Blight, giving your finishing moves a 3% chance per combo point spent to deal X amount of damage. Stacks up to 4 times. Random proc of random amounts of damage. Here's a two-handed agility polearm with an on-use with a 3-minute cooldown. Your secondary stats are increased by 195. Like, these are just gonna be random fucking like agility fist weapons. Your attacks have a chance to cause bleed damage. Like, they're not interesting things, they're just random procs of random damage. So the borrowed power there is definitely a lot different for me than like old tier sets that change the way your character play in some capacity.
Are you looking? Did you look at the Jathus, the Prison Blade?
Consume a lesser weapon, destroying it utterly to feed the power. What does that mean?
Right.
See, that might be interesting.
Speculation is that it eats a weapon out of your inventory, destroys a weapon in your inventory to power it. Now you gotta go farm some zeros to get some weapons so you can feed this thing on damage phases.
Or maybe there's like a little, like a white weapon vendor.
Yeah.
Buy some like white. See, that would be interesting only because, like, say that is a thing where you can just like buy white weapons. That would be interesting only in that aspect. It would be like similar to hunters having to carry arrows, right? Like you just have to carry your shitty weapons around so that you can fucking power your weapon up.
That'd be funny.
That would be pretty funny though.
And it's a two-handed sword also, so we're gonna have to listen to like Cheat and all these other warriors bitch about having their bags full, while the warlocks are just like reminiscing to Soul Shard days.
Yeah.
Oh man, so like it's like a reagent vendor for broken weapons. I don't know. That seems like it'd be too much work for them to put into the game. Like it's probably gonna be something a lot simpler than this, right?
Probably, yeah.
So what are did they announce what the intellect ones were? Like last I looked, they didn't have any intellect ones out yet.
I don't see any.
Yeah, I don't see any yet.
Yeah, I just see the Edge of Night dagger. And then there's the agility fist weapon. The strength two-hander.
Oh, those are just the unique ones. The weapon drops.
Right, yeah. There's tons of other weapon drops. Those are just
Intellect
the...
staff.
Yeah.
None with cool abilities, looks like. Or maybe they're just not listed.
All right, good deal. So we'll see what those turn out to be.
Yep. We'll have to look more into it. Talk about more of that shit next week.
All right, and we got a special segment. We'll go with that. Special segment here for Father's Day. So Moose has brought us some, I guess, a fun little Father's Day segment here. We'll kind of let you take the lead here and kind of run through what we're going to do real quick for our Father's Day special.
Sure. So with it being Father's Day and all, I think two things. One, it's interesting. It would be good to hear some like tips or suggestions, especially if y'all have any in the comments section about things that you do as a father to help, balance your life with World of Warcraft or any video games in general, really anything that you're playing. Tips that you have to help, keep that game life balance going. And then the other section that we have is the top 5 worst dads of World of Warcraft. Did you want to, Lynkz, were you going to do the number 1 or?
Well, let's go through the top 5 real quick, and then we'll...
All right. So, starting off at number 5, we have Durotan. And the reason why I have Durotan as number 5, right? Thrall was born, and then after he's born, he's like, this is a baby? Now I'm going to go to try to stop Gul'dan by myself and get assassinated. So, that's like the most ghosting dad you could possibly have. He decides to just go die instead of raise his son. So that's messed up. Number 4, we got Deathwing. So not only did he destroy like a lot of Azeroth, cause a whole bunch of problems for the dragons, he also did a pretty shit job at raising Onyxia and Nefarian. So they both turned out to be raid bosses because he couldn't raise them properly. So
what happens when you just got like thousands of eggs?
Yeah, I mean, he could have tried to raise them to be good like Rathian. I mean, be good like Rathian. We don't know if Rathian's good or not yet, but we'll find out.
Well, the only reason Rathian's been good so far is because he didn't raise him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's number 3, and this one's going to be a controversial topic. Let me sit up here. Wait. So number 3 is Varian Wrynn. And now, I did a little bit of research on this, all right? Did he really have memory loss? So his story, if you don't know, he had memory loss and became a gladiator in the Dire Maul, and he was the White Wolf or whatever. Yeah. And then he finally came back to Stormwind. I think he just didn't want to deal with the politics of Stormwind, and he just left it to his adolescent son to try to figure out by himself, Anduin. And then if you go back and watch the Tomb of Sargeras raid or the cutscene, right? He's hanging on the side of the gunship, whatever, the thing comes up and grabs it. There's like 12 cannons all pointed at this thing. You're telling me that him with a sword does more damage than 12 cannons from a gunship? Nah, he just didn't want to go back to Stormwind. He just wanted to get out of that shit, so.
It's like, I'm done, fuck it.
Yeah, he's number 3 for being a shit dad. Number 2, any dad from Frostmourne. And you ought to be ashamed for yourself. And then number 1 is clearly going to be Aman'Thul. Aman'Thul is the High Father of the Pantheon. He has control over time. He gave the Bronze Dragonflight their ability to control time. So this dude can control time and do whatever he wants, right? But he let Sargeras still go on his little crusade, burning crusade. He goes, he creates Deathwing and gives him his power. He's basically like the canon version of Zeus for WoW. So anytime that something has been screwed up, you can pretty much trace it back to Aman'Thul fucking up something somewhere.
Yeah.
Luckily, we locked him up with Sargeras in the Pantheon. But who knows how long Illidanti will keep them at bay,
True.
All right. Good deal. There were some good ones. Appreciate the time you put into putting those together here for us. So, all right. So, dad tips for WoW games. So, like, it definitely has a different, I'm gonna say, different meta to it. Playing WoW with having like kids in the house. I find myself doing less group activities. Like, because if I'm locking myself in for a half hour, like, key, like, these kids, I feel like I'm somebody that works at a job that they're on call. So, and they've got the best timing where, all right, I'll be here for 2 hours just grinding, like, okay, they haven't interrupted me. But as soon as we put that key in, like, that door opens and there they are, like he put Skittles up his nose. He can't breathe. Like, some just weird shit just happens. Like, where was this last 2 hours ago? Now it happens as soon as we're in a key. Like, so it definitely, I find myself trying to avoid lock-ins, like where I'm stuck, where I can't be on call. And scheduling's another thing too. Like, my time, oh my God. I think my Discord volume's been off this whole time. Radish, real quick, like, anybody in chat, you guys have heard these guys, right? I've got 2 of them, and I just noticed one was on mute. I hope that's not the main one. Anybody in chat able to confirm if you can hear these guys?
I can hear myself.
Okay, we're good. I've just got 2 for whatever reason. Oh, thank God. Jesus.
That would have sucked.
Run it back, boys.
Oh my God. Like, have you ever tried to do voiceovers to this? That one episode I had to do a voiceover for 15 minutes. It was the worst thing ever. Like, I had to
be voicing over for us too.
Yeah, to do voiceovers for you guys would be horrible. All right, so back to this. So the other thing with the schedules. So, like, as you guys know, like, your schedule's adjusted being married with the wife's schedule, but then when you get kids with activities, now you've got to juggle 4 people's schedule. So I used to raid Tuesday, Thursday nonstop from like BFA, Legion into Shadowlands. Well, we switched gymnastics and it's on a Tuesday, Thursday schedule. So I had to switch, and that's when I started raiding with you guys full time on Wednesday and Friday. Because combination of their gymnastics and then the gym the girlfriend goes to, or I guess the wife now, the gym she goes to had like certain classes on Tuesday, Thursdays that she couldn't miss. So like 2 weeks ago, I got super excited because they changed the gym schedule, and Tuesdays is no longer her favorite class. So I had Tuesdays back. Well, now our work called everybody back, working from home, back to the office. So now the wife has to go back to the office. So she can't make it home to pick up the kid to take him to the 5:30 gymnastics. So for 2 weeks, I was excited. I get to raid TBC Tuesday nights. And now, no, back to the gamer dad life of I've got to take the kid to gymnastics. There goes Tuesday night raid. So it's adapting to that family schedule is a whole new meta. Man, so yeah, put some comments in the video here on YouTube when we post it. Let us know like how do you overcome these, or what are your hiccups you run into, or what are the different variables, or maybe you're kind of like Ride. Ride's got his kid playing with him now too. So
I was about to say I'm not a dad, but a tip that I could give to dads is let them watch. Like if they want to watch, like let the kid watch and get interested. You know, let them putz around on your account.
Hakkd,
my dad didn't have to worry about me not one bit, because all he had to do was get me a little computer, get me like a little half-ass setup, and get me my own account, and he could just go do his own thing, play his own fucking game, and I was taken care of for the day.
Nice.
Obviously, it depends on their interest, but you know, let them watch. Let them.
Almost sounds like neglect. Like, yeah, my dad just put me in the corner. You know, he threw pizza rolls at me every now and again.
Yeah. It was a good time.
But no, seriously, everybody, please put comments in. My daughter will be born next month, the end of next month, and I need all the help I can get. So let me know.
There we go.
It's coming in hot, dude.
All right. Shout out to all you fathers out there. Happy Father's Day. Hope you guys are enjoying your relaxing day off or whatever the family's dragging you into. So
That's the truth.
I think we were going to go strawberry picking before. I was like, no, like it's Father's Day. Like I'm not going to go walk through a field and pick up fucking strawberries. It's not activity that I'm excited for.
I don't want to do that. I'm the dad.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Lynkz, you don't want to go do manual labor on Father's Day? What?
Right. So we're gonna do it next weekend.
Like I am a strawberry. Why do I need to go pick strawberries?
Right. I don't know if you can see like see the line there that I had to cover up.
Oh, dude, I always have a forehead tan line. Like you can see it. Just always.
You got it too.
Yeah. That is always there.
Nice.
All right, good deal. Well, I guess at this point we could probably roll into final thoughts. Anything else you want to cover before you do that, you guys? Or
I'm actually kind of excited to hopefully get back into retail. We'll see. It's holding my attention for now, and I'm actually having a good time. So all I can really ask for.
Yeah. Well, it's fun to. I'm getting back into it myself. It was fun to come do another morning wood with everybody.
Good to
I
have you
appreciate
back.
it, and I look forward to 9.1.
Yeah, man.
all right, good deal. So more to come in WoW, more to come with the guys. Catch us here every Sunday morning, 8 a.m. ish Central Time. We'll be here waking up with some morning wood. See what's more to come as we start progressing with 9.1, and we'll see what character I end up playing. We'll see what my schedule looks like for streaming, like as I have to adjust every week on the fly. But we will see you guys either later this week or we'll see you next week.